All right. Welcome. Good morning. I'm Holly Gorski, a member of your Board of Trustees. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and seasoned. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. Whether you join us in person or online, we're glad you're here. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. As we do each week, excuse me, and as we begin our gathering, I respectfully acknowledge that I speak to you today from occupied Puyallup and Coast Salish ancestral lands. I pay respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to their descendants and all Indigenous people. We are joining you again today in multi-platform mode. You'll see some of us in the sanctuary and others zooming in online. For those meeting in person today, we invite you to join us for coffee time following the service. And we're happy to have brought back our red mugs for coffee time. Red mugs are for visitors who are interested in chatting. So if you see someone with a red mug, go up and introduce yourself. For those in person, this facility is equipped with a hearing assistance system. Devices are available at the table in the back of the sanctuary. In preparation for restarting our religious exploration program, we will be having a cleaning day this coming Saturday, April 1st, from 9 to noon downstairs. All are invited to join in to prepare the space to welcome back children and families. Scott Redman and Stacy Kopcha will be leading a multi-age RE group beginning on April 9th with egg dyeing, and we need some folks to volunteer to donate a dozen hard-boiled eggs for this activity. On Sunday, April 16th, we will begin our formal curriculum with spirit play and adapt it for children who register for the program. I'm so excited that this is starting back up. Registration forms will be available soon. As we resurrect the RE program, we will need volunteers to support it. Please see Chrissy Kim or email board@tahomauu.com to sign up to volunteer to help with the children downstairs. We need extra people to make this work. Stay tuned for updates for the youth group. On Saturday, April 1st, there's a game night for adults, and you can see Fran McLaughlin for more information about that evening, when poker will be the game of the night, using chips, of course. As always, details for our upcoming services can be found on our website or in the e-news. There were several updates in the e-news this week, including an opportunity to attend anti-racism gatherings with Chris Crass in Seattle. So be sure to check out those updates. If you don't already subscribe to the e-news, you can find the e-news link on our website, where you can also subscribe. Excuse me. Next Sunday, April 2nd, we'll be exploring the unexpected. We plan, God laughs. More often than we like, life throws us a curveball. What then? Join us next Sunday as we explore plotting the course with Reverend Linda. Today, we welcome Reverend Linda with her message, Forging Our Faith. Now, let us join together in worship.
Good morning, everyone. We have one announcement that didn't make it into our written announcements this morning that Holly shared with us. And that is, well, David, why don't you come on up and talk? We've got a fun thing coming up this summer. I want to make sure everybody knows about it.
Good morning, everybody. We've started the annual TUUC camping trip once again. We have a location that we're very comfortable with and very happy. It will be Gus Backstrom Park up in Morton on the banks of the Tilton River. We've got our choice of 2 or 3 really large group sites so everybody can camp together. We have space for tents. We have space for trailers and RVs. Whatever you're traveling and camping in, we can accommodate you. If you're interested at all, we're getting down to the point now where we're trying to pick a date. We're looking at the middle of August or the middle of July, kind of taking a poll. I sent an email out this morning. If you'd like to get on that email list, I'd be more than happy to get you caught up to speed this afternoon. See me after the service. I'll get you on the email list and you'll get in the information loop, and then you can make the choice as you have time. Thank you.
Worshiping out in the wilderness, one of the best ways to do it, I think. I'm sure David thinks that. Again, good morning. Let us come together in worship with these words from my colleague, Gretchen Haley. We are all connected, stronger together, love's hands in the world. We're called to create justice, responsible for one another and for the earth. What's going to happen? Is everything going to be okay? What can I do? In these days, we find ourselves too often stuck with these questions on repeat. What's going to happen? Is everything going to be okay? What can I do? We grasp at signs and markers, articles and news and analysis, Facebook memes and forwarded emails, as if the new zodiac, capable of forecasting all that life may yet bring our way, as if we could prepare. As if life has ever made promises of making sense or turning out the way we thought, as if we are not all actors in an unfolding story. For this hour, we surrender to the mystery together. We come to release ourselves from needing to know, the yearning to have it all figured out, and also the burden of believing that we have all the control or none. Here in our song and our silence, our stories and our sharing, we make space for a new breath, a new healing, a new possibility to take root. That is the courage forged in the fire of our coming together and felt in the spirit that comes alive in this act of faith, that we believe still a new world is possible, that we are creating it already here and now together this morning. It is good to be together, friends. I'll let you know, for those of you who are regulars here, that I am flying without a celebrant this morning. So you get me, and more me, which I hope is okay. So our chalice lighter this morning is Penny Douglas, member of our congregation and a long-term Unitarian Universalist. Oops, yeah. Sometimes things are a little more complicated than they seem. And now will you join with me in saying the chalice lighting words that are on the screen? We light this chalice in deep respect of the mystery and holiness of life, in honor and gratitude for those who have gone before, with love and compassion for those who dwell among us, and with hope and faith for the generations to come. Let's join in singing. Our opening hymn today is number 42 in the gray hymnal, Morning So Fair to See.
Morning so fair to see, night veiled in mystery, each afternoon, and skies welcomes we march along, singing our pilgrim song. Paradise. Tall are the verdant trees, deep are the flashing seas, glorious each wonder the seasons bring. Brighter is faith's surmise, shining in pilgrim's eyes. Spring. Age after age they rise, neath the eternal skies, into the light from the shadowed past. Still, still our pilgrim song, buoyant and brave and strong, resound while life and mountains last.
I'd like to invite the children. I'd like to invite the children to come forward. Is the mic on? There we go. All right. Hey, y'all, come on up. Come on, come on. Yay, hi. Hi, how are you this morning? Are you all right? You all right? When I lived in England, that was the thing that we said to each other. We would say, you all right? And and people would answer, all right. That's how they said it. It's confused me when I first got there. Do we have one more? Maybe, maybe not. I'm really glad you guys are here this morning. I have this really cool book that I want to share with you all. It's called The Most Magnificent Thing. And this is a brand new book to me. I had not heard of it until this week when I found it when I was looking for a story for today. And it is a magnificent thing in and of itself. Do you know what magnificent means? Anybody? Yeah.
Really, really, really awesome.
Really, really, really awesome. Perfect. Perfect. All right, here is really awesome. Yes. What I really like about this story, what I like most about this story is that even though she tries and tries and it doesn't exactly work the way that she wants to, eventually she realizes that she's made some good choices along the way and she can build the thing that she wants. And she's happy with it in the end. And we do that a lot in life about a lot of things. And one of the ways, yes? I can finish. Well, you can tell me what that is, because that was my last sentence.
Okay. I was just saying that I think it's kind of, I thought it was kind of funny how like she's thinking they're all of the messed up things are all bad and you can't do anything with them, but meanwhile in the background everyone else is like using them and
Right.
loving them.
Yeah, it finds that it's really funny that while she thinks everything is wrong, there are other people who think that there are some good things in there, and they're all looking at it.
I think
That's,
everything that she made looks good. I think I can make some.
you think you could make some of those and that they look good? Yeah, she was being very critical of herself, wasn't she? She was like, oh, I'm no good at this. But she actually did some really awesome things. So there is so much that is magnificent about this book. I wanted to share it with you. And that does it for our Time for All Ages. Thank you all for coming and sharing the book with me. If the adults would rise and form an arch, and we're going to sing the kids through the arch and back to their place. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious love, we hold you in our love as you go.
We pause here to invite you into a time of generosity. This congregation is sustained and supported by the contributions of our members and friends. There is a basket at the front of the sanctuary for in-person contributions, and we can also receive your donation via text or through the homepage of our website. Thank you.
I invite you now to come in a time for meditation or prayer or stillness, whatever is most your custom. I'll share a poem called Credo by Donna Hilbert with you, and then we'll take some time for stillness together. I invite you to take a moment to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. A moment maybe to just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Just let the tension come out of your body just for this moment. These words, Credo by Donna Hilbert. I believe in the Tuesdays and the Wednesdays of life, the tuna sandwich lunches and TV after dinner. I believe in coffee with hot milk and peanut butter toast, rosé wine in the summer and burgundy in winter. I am not in love with holidays, birthdays, nothing special. And weekends are just days numbered 6 and 7. Though my love, dozing over TV golf while I work the Sunday puzzle, might be all I need in life and all I ask of heaven. Let us pause in stillness together. So may it be. Amen. The reading I have to share with you is an excerpt from a piece called Confession of Faith by Mark Bellatini. Mark is one of my retired colleagues and was one of the great great writers of our tradition, as you may gather from this reading. A confession of faith. Now and then, someone actually asks me about my self-classification on the wheel of Unitarian Universalist theology. And now and then, I have the presence of mind to answer with my only honest answer. This is my theological position as a Unitarian Universalist. When I wake up in the morning and the sunlight kindles my bare arms, and I realize that the whole world is out there beyond my eyes, I am surprised to be alive and aware, dumbfounded that there is anything rather than nothing. At that moment, I seem to call out to the God who gives joy to my youth. And the eternal comes, robed in biblical metaphors cut from the cloth of my own stupefaction that I am and that everything is just as it is. By noon, I have seen or read or heard the news, and I know that God, Goddess, neither is nor will be. I know, too, that the humanistic focus is a romantic delusion of the comfortable middle class, since the main pan-human achievement seems to be greed, mayhem, self-righteousness, curdling resentment, cocksureness, festering ridicule, chilling sarcasm, rape, murder, self-destruction, unbelievable prejudice, and wholesale denial. But by sunset, when the violet clouds, tinged orange by the sun, seem to push out the violence poisoning my consciousness, I care neither to know or not know God, neither acclaim nor damn human potential. All I know is that the divine humanity of Michelangelo, proclaimed by these very clouds he once captured in fresco, seem more convincing than the type of crabbed, discourteous humanity exemplified by Jesse Helms et al. In this unphilosophical agnosticism, some small piece. At midnight, when the band of Orion floats on my wet eye, I swear something kneels silently in me, uttering neither interpretive word nor theological sigh. All the isms and clutter of my internal debate dissolved in the dark night that is my final lovely home. Some say my faith, like Peter's in Matthew's gospel, is little indeed, and that I will soon sink beneath the waters because my skepticism is greater than my trust. Perhaps, but this is my best answer right now. So the art of sermon titles, like the one for today, Forging Our Faith, is surprisingly both complicated and random. A month ago, as I was imagining what kinds of topics would be worth exploring this month, I was thinking it all through, and somewhere the idea of our beliefs, our ideas and hunches about who we are and what it is we're called to do in the world, our intuitions about how we are to live and the values that matter. As I pondered all of those things, somehow the image of the blacksmith arose in me. Smiths pound and shape superheated metal to create what is both of use and often what is beautiful too. Now, it might have been a random ad for a blacksmithing class at the Arbutus Folk School in Olympia, something that has tempted me on and off for many years now, but I'm not really sure. After having written it down, not a day later, my colleague, Eric Kamenetsky from Edmonds, posted this small paragraph on Facebook. He wrote, "With hammers of self-doubt, do I work the metal of my faith, impossibly thin, only to find that I am companioned and cajoled by my community into folding these almost faithless foils in upon themselves, that they might anneal into something both strong and flexible enough to help plow the fields of truth, justice, and love." Now, happy accident or one of those moments where there was a magical kind of psychic connection between me and my colleague, Eric, I'll never know, but it was a lovely moment to grab those words and to reflect on them. And that's what brings us to our service today. I find that our story that I shared this morning, and I got to tell you, finding children's stories for the Time for All Ages is a bigger task than it might seem. And finding this book was really one of my great delights, and I am so happy to own it. Anybody identify with her, that regular girl? I mean, oh baby. I think the story echoes some of Eric's short reflection too. That wonderful regular girl imagines the most magnificent thing and wants to create it. She collects and creates and takes apart and creates and repeats until in frustration and pain she gives up. But after some time, in the companionship of her best friend, she returns to find the community. The community that surrounds her is in exploration of her attempts. Her attempts, note, not her failures. And she is able to see what is possible and then creates what she needs for right now, a way to fly into what's next, taking her best friend with her. The themes of doubt are the same, self-doubt especially. The theme of companionship in community that enables us to see more clearly, to join our strengths, and the creation of something new that makes possible more life for ourselves and for our others. These are threaded through both Eric's words and the story of the regular girl. I had to go looking about smithing, blacksmithing, and what it requires. You know, it just requires some simple tools to happen. First, you have to have a hearth, a place where you can heat the metals. The forge, I learned, I hadn't known this, maybe y'all do. The forge is actually a particular kind of hearth that can withstand high heat, the heat high enough to soften metals enough to make them pliable. Of course, you also need a heat source, fuel to create it. And you need to, this is another thing I didn't realize. Of course, I should have, because the bellows, right? You need air pumped into the forge to boost up that heat. It's a community effort to be a blacksmith. It takes more than one person. Eric suggests that it is in community that we can join our flimsy metals, the filmy sheets layered one on one into something that becomes stronger, able to do what's needed, maybe a knife that can cut away what isn't needed, or a crucible that can contain our deepest sorrows and our righteous angers. I think it's a near perfect metaphor for how our faith, our beliefs are shaped. Especially the story of the girl trying to build the most magnificent thing. It offers us a story that's a good companion to Eric's metaphor. She has a vision. She has a vision of something that will be of use, that will enable something wonderful. She tries and tries to make her vision real. She has her assistant. She has materials and a dream, but cannot make it happen. Then, after all of those attempts, when everything seems impossible and hopeless, she is blessed by a companion who, insisting she take a walk, allows her space to breathe, allows her to remember the goodness of life as they walk together. She comes back with fresh eyes. The community around her has found use and possibility in all of her early attempts. They help to restore her faith in herself and in the possibility, and then she can build that magnificent thing, that beautiful sidecar that allows for new adventures, taking along her beloved companion with her. If we pause to reflect upon those moments when we are tested in what we hope and trust is true, those moments when there's a senseless death, when a relationship falls apart, when an event in the world, maybe one like a mass shooting, when all those kinds of things happen, we are prodded into reassessing what we think we know about the world. Our faith grows thin, perhaps, or we lose confidence in our vision of what is possible in the world. Eric and the regular girl provide us some guideposts for how to find our way back and how to find a way forward into a more nuanced and deeper faith. March 24th, just a few days ago, was the 5th anniversary of the March for Our Lives that followed the shooting at Marjorie Douglas High School in Parkland. I was stunned to see the pictures in my Facebook memories of the marches and the various things that went on at that time. I think school shootings are perhaps the most, have the most impact on my ability to trust in the world. They especially shake my faith. Goodness, worth, and dignity. The grief and anger that follows any such events is the flame, the fire that is hot enough to begin to dissolve my own certainty in the universalist faith, right? The belief that there are none so lost that they are not redeemed or cannot be redeemed, my universalist faith. My doubt, as Eric comments, is pounded very, very thin at times. It becomes flimsy. It becomes malleable, maybe even unrecognizable in the face of the world's atrocities. And then, like the regular girl, my small attempts to make the world a better place, to live my faith out in a way that makes any difference at all, seem to fail, as they always seem to do. Alone, I can never do what is needed in the world, but with a community of care and curiosity, I can find a new way. I can get my faith restored. Communities like this help me. What saved me, though, in the aftermath of that horrific shooting 5 years ago was watching the student X Gonzalez, whose birth name was Emma. They are going by the name X now. And watching David Hogg and others from the school marshal the resources and energy to call for a march to protest gun violence and to seek gun control. I don't know how many of you watched them during that time, but their eloquence, their faith that it could happen, perhaps simply just the brightness of their souls that shone through them, all of that helped to restore me back to a sense of possibility and promise. The power of their actions, their tender hearts that they exposed to us that day, annealed with mine to make it stronger again. The gathered community of grief and hope restored me, reminded me that our actions together can make a difference. They haven't cured us. They probably never will, because we will always be human beings who do these kinds of human things. But change is possible. The kind of pattern of belief and hope and loss and of deepening faith, I think, is a constant in our lives. In smaller and larger ways, we lose and regain the capacity to live what we believe most deeply. Truth be told, driving on I-5 is a constant challenge to me to believe in the goodness of all people. And while I rarely do it, I have always thought that the practice of one of my friends many years ago, which was to bless, he had a Catholic background, was to bless people who were pissing him off on the road. I think it would make me a happier person. And it would also help me live out the vision for the world that I have more completely. I think we will be aided in living out those things that we believe by attending to the rhythm of the smithy and the regular girl. Life will spill out its challenges to us. It will always challenge us to be the person that we imagine ourselves to be, perhaps the person that our dog imagines us to be. I think that's the harder one to live. We will be challenged to live the person we imagine ourselves to be, and so often are not. Finding a community that can join with you on that journey and help you return to your faith, to living your faith, I think is an essential piece of staying sane in the world. We aren't meant to do this alone, friends. Never were meant to do this alone. Along the way, we'll find new understandings, new truths to help us on our journey. As one of our hymns suggests, not one that we're singing this morning as it happens, the fire of commitment, the fire of that forge in which our beliefs are made, will light us on our way. And our love for ourselves, for each other, and for this weary world will guide us, as another one of our hymns suggests. So my friends, My friends, let us be on this journey together today and in all the days to come. So may it be. Amen. I invite you now to take a few moments to pause. If there's been something in the service today, in the stillness or the words, I invite you to, if it has moved you, I invite you to take a moment to set an intention for how you will carry it out into the world. Let us just pause in stillness together. So may it be. Amen. Let's join in singing our closing song today. It is number 295 in the great hymnal, Sing Out Praises. And I don't have a song leader today too, so you're getting to hear my somewhat less than stellar singing so that the folks online can follow along.
Sing out praises for the journey, pilgrims we who carry on. Searchers in the soul's deep yearning, like our forebears in their time. We seek out the Spirit's wholeness in the endless human quest. Look inside your souls, the kindling of the hearth our pilgrims knew. Find the Spirit always restless, find it in each mind and heart. Touch and hold that ancient yearning, kindling for a new-found truth. Stand we now upon the threshold, facing futures yet unknown. Hearth behind us, wayside chapel, built for those who knew our roads. Guard we ere their sacred embers, buried in our mind and heart.
These words from Jim Wickman to close our service. May our faith sustain us, our hope inspire us, our love surround us as we go our separate ways, knowing that we will gather again in this beloved community. So may it be. Amen. David, would you extinguish our chalice for us today? And just wait till you get on camera. Not yet. Seems a moment of technical difficulties. There we are. All right. Perfect. We can see the smoke. And now as the words come onto the screen, let us say the chalice lighting, chalice extinguishing words together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. And I invite you to rise and join in singing our closing blessing song today. The words will be up there.